I'm going to do some, no, I'm going to,
beautiful band, beautiful music, shared with beautiful people, coming to unity. See, in unity we have an understanding that diversity is wonderful. It is what life is all about. And our journey has to do with understanding that. It's all part of God, it's all beautiful. If we cherish it, take care of it, it'll always be beneficial to us. So is there anybody here from another unity? Anybody here for the first time? Okay. From another unity? Atlanta. That's okay. Yeah, we have a gift for you. Yeah. On your right there. That gentleman right there with the baseball hat and the beard. He's from Atlanta. Okay. All right. Well, we're here to be refreshed in what we all truly know within all the time, except we get distracted by the world. And here we refresh and understand what is truly valuable. And that's what you're going to get from this beautiful talk that Syntysche will share with you. Look forward to it.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. Those of you who are joining us here in the room and those of you who are joining us online, we just love spending some time with you each week, so thank you. I've got an announcement to make. It's that time of year again where there's a really easy thing everyone can do to really help get the word of Unity of Boulder out to more people. And that is, it's called BOCO Gold. It's with the Daily Camera. This is where we vote for the best place, the best house of worship in Boulder County. We've won it almost every single year for the past 6 or 7 years, and we'd like to win it again. The voting just started about an hour ago, and so the way we're going to get it out to you right now is if you're on our email list, you will have got an email today in your inbox from us, and it has a link in it where you can go in. It takes about 5 minutes, but winning this really helps get Unity of Boulder's name out there in the way that if someone new comes to town and they search best local church or even local church, that puts us in so many different search engines for people to find us and check us out and give us a chance. So please go and vote for Unity of Boulder on BOCO Gold. Another really easy thing that always helps us out, if you ever are on your social media and you see ads for Unity of Boulder, watch them if they're a video, like them, even if you don't have time to watch them. That helps us, that pushes it out to more people further and gives us a further reach very easily. So anytime you get a chance to like something that you see on social media, or if you go and watch one of our videos on YouTube when you're rewatching a sermon, just hit that like real quick, that little thumbs up. It helps us out a lot. All right, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity today. This is the point in our service where it's a call for prayer. It's an opportunity for you to take a sheet from the pew in front of you and write names down of people that might be facing a challenge in mind, body, or spirit. It's also an opportunity for you to also say a prayer for yourself. We know that when we're praying, we're not changing God or changing the circumstances, but what we're doing is aligning with this power that lives within us, that can heal anything, mind, body, and spirit in ourselves, and we can extend that energetically and vibrationally to our loved ones and friends, to see them in the light and hold them in a place where we can help them come back into balance and back into wholeness and homeostasis. So we sing this song just to correct the world and come into the presence of the spiritual world and remember that Spirit's in all and through all always. Sing with us. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for you. Now you know it. Join us. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for you. So grateful for you. And so it is. All right, now we have the opportunity to listen to our in-house folk chanter. She does all sorts of wonderful things around here. Let's have a warm welcome for Rebecca Abraxas.
I am so lucky. I so blessed. I have another day here to love and express. I am so grateful. I radiate. I have another day here to love and create. I am so lucky. I am so blessed. I have another day here to love and express. I am so lucky. I am so blessed. I have another day here to love and express. I am so grateful. I radiate. I have another day here to love and create. Another day here to love and express. We are so lucky, we are so blessed. We have another day here to love and express. I am so grateful, I radiate. I have another day here to love and create.
Okay, let's invite our entertainment club up, and we're going to do a joy song together. We're going to ask everybody to stand up and get some energy in our bodies and sing some affirming words together.
bring good to all that we see, to all that we need, as close as every breath that's taken. We feel the light beaming through, it is guiding our way.
Beautiful singing. Yes, please. All right. Good morning on this beautiful day. It's been so nice this July. I mean, we've had hot, but not nearly like the hot we usually get in July. Like these little breaks where it's nice and cool and we can get outdoors and hike and enjoy the beautiful surroundings at this time of year. So today, the title of my talk is The Presence of Sages. The early references to sage as a noun, meaning a person of profound wisdom, are found in Hindu, Greek, and Chinese history. While many of us understand a sage as someone who has tasted, who has internalized the world and its many paradoxes, while we can certainly learn from such individuals, a significant change takes place that alters how we understand learning when the focus becomes the one who has tasted and not the practice of tasting itself. We come to learn that there is the misguided belief that we can shortcut the process of saging and receive wisdom through one already wise. However, much of the instruction of true sages throughout time has been to redirect seekers back to their own innate resources and their own firsthand experiences of the world. Thus, when Buddha redirects his adoring students away from him and to the heart of all he speaks, he says that he and his teachers are merely fingers pointing to the moon. And when the Native American elders listen to the wind, he's listening to a sage aspect of the Great Spirit. And when Rumi spins as the first whirling dervish, he is trying to lose his own frame of reference, to put down the habits of his knowing so he can taste freshly from the great sage of life, which is life. So sages. So in the presence of sages, which is all of us, right? Recognizing that we all are sages. We all came in as sages. And so this idea that someone outside of us can lead us on the journey of awakening or discovering our true self, or someone outside of us can lead us to 5D consciousness from 3D. And the truth is nobody ever leads us to our awakening, that it's usually life itself, as Rumi is saying here, that teaches us more and more about the innate abilities that live within each and every one of us. And usually, we really come to terms with it when we go through something that's challenged us. And it's usually many times that something's challenged us, that we've had to look at the challenge itself or the shadow that's coming up from some circumstance that keeps repeating itself, and you wonder why this keeps happening, until you turn towards that thing that keeps happening to you, and you realize that that's your teacher, that that thing is opening you up to your saging, becoming that which you already are innately, and remembering from some esoteric, some etheric realm, a part of yourself that you haven't been remembering recently or maybe ever in this particular lifetime, right? So some of you might be feeling the energies of the cosmos in the last week. There's big astrological changes going on, and it really started last Monday. And so there is this convergence with Capricorn, which is going to its height today in its full moon, right? And Capricorn is a sign of order. It's about bringing things into order. And if you can think of the chaos of the world, and then you have this planet that's trying to get things in order, that would create some duality and inner struggles. So many of you probably have been feeling that kind of frustrated feeling for this whole week, and felt that sense like, I better not say anything, because you know you might say something you shouldn't say, because it's like an aggravated energy. Who's felt that this week? Yeah, see, the astrology thing's real. I'm sorry. but because you felt it, right? And it's nice to know when you start to look into these things when it's time to take more time in meditation and not with people, right? Because this week you might have said things where you needed to confront it, but you're not going to say it in the most loving way. So we should just hide. Do what they say in the Disney movies. If you don't have something nice to say, just hide. If you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it at all. So today is especially one of those days. So I was actually doing a blessing with Palo Santo on people as they're coming in today to release the old energies, because this is about a release. This is about a letting go right now of the things that no longer serve us and recognizing it. So it's bringing it up to a head where we're feeling, maybe not even identifying in mind, it's just an energy of feeling off, right? But if you really looked into it, you'd probably recognize that it's been something that's been on your heart for a while, trying to release it, and now the cosmos are going to help you release it. So today is just one more day of just really being in the presence of God, Source, Spirit, and allowing it to be released from your experience. Today's a great day for rituals. That's why I did that before the service. Doing some incense, clearing your houses with sage. Palo Santo is really my choice. I feel that it just really is amazing. And we carry it in the store. Not that I'm promoting it for the store, but super helpful. Something you should just always have in your home. And in that cleansing, you're releasing the old. And then when you're done with it, you breathe in that which you are feeling called to or you're calling towards. And we know if it doesn't appear, then if it's not this thing that you're calling towards, if it's not this, then it's something better. That's the best affirmation Catherine Ponder gave us. It's a prosperity statement that says, well, if it's not this, then maybe I can't even broaden my view or broaden my heart or my mind large enough for what the universe has in store for me. So we stay in this hopeful place, a hopeful place of knowing my good is always coming to me, right? So this last Monday, my daughter, who's my youngest, who's 16, she's a dancer, and she's been in dance for many, many years. But this last Monday, she was starting a dance intensive that was happening at CU. And most of the people that are going to this are like 18 and not like college-age kids, but she's 16, and she made it in, and so she was heading to this thing, and she drives her own car, but she said, I just feel uncomfortable walking across CU. Would you just drive with me? You know, so I went with her to park the car. And as I started walking with her through CU, I was just having like flashbacks of my life up there and being a part of a dance company in my day. And all of it's just kind of flooding as I'm walking through these hallways, through the corridors to get to the buildings of the dance department. And I'm seeing all the dancers that are appearing that are heading to this big workshop with all these great teachers from New York and Chicago and everywhere else. And I'm with her, experiencing it through her, watching her not know this experience, which are some of my fondest memories of my life. So I can feel her like tendency and her feelings. I can like feel her energetically thinking, am I good enough for this? Have I had enough training to really be around these other dancers? I can feel this kind of dulled feeling, and I'm walking with her going, you got this. You've got this. You're amazing. And you're going to be even more amazing on the other side of this thing, you know? So we get in there, and all of a sudden it's like she feels like that 3-year-old, you know, when your kids are intimidated by something, it's like all of a sudden the memory of the little kid holding onto your ankle because they don't want to leave for preschool. All of this is coming to me. You know, all of this past, like my old life, you know, it's just, and I get her signed in and everything else, and I say, okay, well, go have fun, and she's like, I will, and her eyes just looked like a little girl. She's leaving, and she went into the auditorium, which is like a big, huge dance room that can hold about 150 dancers. It's a very large dance room, and then it becomes an actual performance space as well. So I had to peek my head in there because all of my greatest dances of my life happened in there. So she didn't see me, so I just kind of looked in, and it smelled the same, and it felt the same. And I have memories that live in those dance floors. There's sweat, tears, and all of it. And it was beautiful and wonderful. And as I was walking out, I'm walking through this hallway, and it's just like time is kind of stopping, you know. I'm in this state of reflection of my life. And I'm going to try not to cry. This is kind of like, because that's what this energy is right now. It's kind of letting go, even the good stuff, and having to really come to the present moment of now. So I walk out of the corridor, I'm back out and see you, and this just whoosh of presence hits me, and I am bawling walking through the corridor. But it's not like a bawling of like sadness or loss or something that I didn't do. It was a bawling of the allness of life, which is filled with both of those things, the grief of it being over and the opportunity of something new. It has that same threshold. If you have ever had children, do you remember when your children would get really, really tired? Like around 2, 3 years old, they get really, really tired. And so they're like on the verge of crying, and so they're just like pouting and crying, and the next thing you know, they're just laughing hysterically, like beyond, and they're so much funnier than you've ever seen them, because they're literally on crack. It's like they're between the yin and the yang of the edge of life. You know what I mean? It's like the laughter's right there, and that can turn to screaming and crying, and it's that tilt. And I kind of feel a lot of us feel that way a little bit. We're always on the verge of kind of crying, because life is so... What is life right now? Life is in our face right now. The world is in our face. And then when we're in our prayer practice, we're so close to this divine energy that we're in tears because we can feel spirit so innately. So it's like when we're in that kind of like this place, this pinnacle, it's so amazing. Because we can make things change, and we can change the trajectory of things because God is so, so close. And yet there's a feeling of falling away, because again, nothing can make its way in if we don't let go of our limitations, our belief systems, the things that don't serve us anymore, or letting go of our past or our great moments in our life and realizing, and now you're standing here and you're this age. What is unlived in this moment? What is this moment about, right? So from that place, it wasn't necessarily grief, and it was grief. And from that place, it was pure joy to feel like I have a daughter that I didn't force into dance at all. Because a part of me is there was so many like eating disorders and issues around it that I didn't really want that part of it. And somehow she's found this divine way that dance has really gotten a lot healthier. And so she got a better version of it, you know. And so as I was leading off, there's a pride of the mother that I am. That I navigated that with her to find a really holy experience with dance that didn't have to bring along some of the tragedies that come with it, right? And there's me left, and the kids are leaving soon. Like, this is the last one. What am I going to do now? What is my purpose? Why do I wake up every day, right? So that's the grief. Because my purpose has been parenting. My purpose has been a lot of things, but that one's been my favorite. That's my favorite title, is mother. So as we need to sleep and wake, we need to taste all forms of heart. As we need to breathe, we need a presence and sage to open and absorb and narrow and hold onto and sift. For no one can blossom the God within but you. So water what you know, even more what you don't know. Taste everything and be surprised. Taste everything and be surprised. So it's not saying that we need to just hold on to the things that are easy and that show up well. For me, I'm at the second half of my life now. And that's exciting, right? Because there's a whole new life ahead. There's a whole new life experience that I haven't had. And yet, there can be that tendency to go back and grieve what we were, what we used to be, especially with the aging body and some of those things. It's like, it's amazing how the universe makes bodies go through these changes so that you don't have as good of a memory. So you don't really get that freaked out. It's really amazing. Because if you had the mind you did in your 20s and you ended up at this age, it would be a lot harder. But something shifts in your consciousness where your outer beauty doesn't matter as much. It's strange. And it just happens naturally. It's just an incredible experience to watch things fall away, and then you become more part of the oneness, and you realize how much you spent looking to the outside trying to be the thing that you thought you wanted to sell to everybody about self. And now all of a sudden you don't care. But then you have little moments like this where you do care. You're like, oh, I used to be somebody. I used to be somebody. And that's the falsehood. You are so much more every single day that you walk into this path. So I thought we could all take a chance right now and recall something in your life right now, recently, that found you in a state of wonder or pondering or reflection or reverence, in a state of things that have not been lived yet, an awareness of the allness of life, right? And resonating in that place of that baby that is laughing so hysterically because it's all just so ridiculous and you're so tired and so overwhelming, and a lot of us are there because the world's really overwhelming and it's really tiring and it's really like this, right? And then there's the tears that are the cleansing breath. That laughter, you know when you're like laughing a lot because you're just sarcastic, because you just cannot believe the trajectory that things are going on, and then you find yourself in tears? Right? That yin and the yang is a teacher. And hopefully you can find that balance in between every day, though, many times a day, by stepping out of the world. No longer being participant in the world, and staying in the ethereal, with this ethereal realm that speaks in and through everything of our lives, right? So another thing that's been called about this full moon tonight is that there's many different things. I'm not going to go into the details of it, but what it's causing is the veil is extremely thin right now, which we don't have that usually at this time of year. But this veil is so thin that you actually have communication with your loved ones from the other side. So this is also a time to ask for communication. If there's some last things that you needed to talk to somebody about or connect with and resonate in that energy, or call old grandparents that were wise and ask them to start kind of being the feeding energy that helps you find that divine alignment in the path that which is being called for you at this time, right? So I said to Mike yesterday that this was going on, and he's been really trying to have communication with his mom that he lost last November. And I keep having interactions with her, but he keeps not having interactions, and it's frustrating. But we know when we're in deep grief, it's really hard to have the interaction. And I loved my mother-in-law, but it's different than your mom, like a Jewish mother to the only son. Like that relationship was super special, right? And so we did some Palo Santo, and we blessed our house, and we blessed our dogs, and we, it was actually Gilly's birthday yesterday. My big Wheaton Terrier turned 7 yesterday. And when we got it all done, we went to our room, and we have 2 big lights in our room, and one light just went off. On, off, on. He's looking at the thing to look at if the thing's turning off, on. I said, well, that was pretty clear. He goes, well, what if it's like, you know how we always are? It's like, well, what if it was like, I don't know, it could be a short, I'm like, the light has literally never done that in the 9 years we've lived here. But because it's for you, it's like, why be a skeptic about it? Why are we such a skeptic that our loved ones can communicate with us and that we can still have a newfound interaction? It's very different, and it's not as constant. But when we realize that this is just the physical experience, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. When you really, really get that, then everything starts to become a thing that we look through a lens of the holiness of it. We recognize that every single thing is in divine order and has actually been called to our life. There's no coincidence of me walking out of that dance school and the way that felt and everything I felt, and those tears felt so cleansing and so good, because I'm in this kind of like, what's next with all this? And I felt me, the soul of Syntysche that's had many lifetimes. I found her in that, and I found joy in it, and I found myself in a day of going back and closing it and making new plans with this next phase, right? So the Zen master Suzuki Roshi pointed to this when he said, "What we call I is just a swinging door which moves when we inhale and when we exhale." What we call I is just a swinging door which moves when we inhale and when we exhale, right? And when you really think about the process in which I'm sharing with you right now, we have to be aware of the great master of birth and death. That's really what this is all about, is really the ending of old things and the birthing of new things. Life passes swiftly. We know that. It is going by. That's another part of it. That's part of the feeling. Oh my God, that does not feel like 25 years ago that I was in that studio at all. But life passes swiftly, so we have to wake up. And we're being called to wake up. And so we're showing these glimpses of the past where there was true passion, there was true drive, and there was true wonderful things. And we have to remember that that's not left us. We might be a little slower now. We might be a little less eager now. We might really like a book, and maybe we'll find it in those things. It's going to be a different way that's played out. But that passion and that soul is the same one, and it doesn't age. The body is the part that ages, right? So part of it is transcending mortality. The power and purpose of spiritual deaths is a journey that all sages have to go through, right? So that's where I'm heading. So for example, Jesus. We know that his was an actual death if we look at it in history. The crucifixion, where Jesus' message of equality and love for all could potentially resonate with the marginalized and oppressed and all people, and of that timing leading to social unrest that the Romans sought to prevent. He made them mad because he could go against their laws, because all of a sudden they realized that God and the source of their life lived within them. That's what he was saying. The heaven is in the midst of you. You don't have to look to somebody else to find this peace, this patience, this truth that surpasses all understanding. And he got killed for that. And you might find when you really step into the spiritual journey that people will oppress up against you and tell you that you're wrong, or that what you're doing is not insightful, or that this is stupid because you're following an urge instead of following only the intellect. Because the intellect should be involved, but also should the heart, and also should the soul, and also should the signs and the symbols from your dreams, from your dead loved ones, from your spirit guides, from your angels, whatever, right? So Jesus is focused on individual faith and discovering heaven in the very midst of us, that all this love and healing power wasn't outside of us, but came from within every individual over the strict adherence to religious laws that the Jewish leaders wanted. So both were upset. The Jewish leaders, so your churches can be upset with you if you don't follow the rules, and then the governments can be upset with you because you don't want to follow the rules. And so you see a world right now that's in chaos. A world where they're trying to bring prayer back into schools in the United States as if it's the only religion. When Jesus never wanted to start Christianity. He wasn't a Christian. He was a sage. He had many deaths and resurrections through his life, and we walked the life with him for him to say, this is the way, the truth, and the light. If you follow me and I follow the Father, then you will also do the same works as I do. But some of us still like to have something outside of us that tells us how to do this. And we like to be in a social order where something says, this is the way to do it. And you know what happens is that you won't actually find the truth and the peace and the understanding until you stop following anything besides your own heart, your own insights. Because you've been here hundreds of times. You are the indwelling spirit. And the way we take this situation out in the world out of chaos is to treat people like they have that indwelling spirit in them regardless of their actions. being good in this world and seeing the light in everything. Being the example of this vibrational energy that will change the suffering of this world, and hold prayer for the wars that are going on, for the mothers that are losing children. But don't let it take your peace away from you, because then you're adding on to the discord and the unsettled energies that are happening. So his message pushed up against the existing social order that the Romans and Jewish leaders sought to avoid, hence him being crucified. But then we know that he had the last word. 3 days later, he resurrected. So what he's saying is this physical experience is not what it's about. It's the soul growth. It's saying that we die and we resurrect. We die to ourselves. We die to things that no longer serve us. And every time we do that, we are awakened into more and more of the majesty that God put us here to be and do. Jesus taught us to get rid of the fear out there and connect with the love in here. Isn't it amazing that 2,000 years ago, somebody could have said a message that still resonates with all of us? And do I consider myself a Christian? No, absolutely not. I know that unity can be, we use the Bible to teach the allegories and the metaphysical stories that refer to our lives right here. But as far as having a dogma or a God that I am placating to and thinking that I'm changing, I know that the collective of all of us is God. And so what an incredible spiritual power we have, individual into the oneness and the collective. So this agitation we're all feeling from this Capricorn energy that's trying to make things right in a broken world, be with that shadow. Because that shadow that's agitating us has something in it to teach us, to be released, so that we can be more and more of the beauty that God put us here to do and be. So the path to true enjoyment is death. Death to self, death to selfishness, death to being offended, death to lower opinions of yourself, death to the weaknesses that have controlled you or limited you. There is no ceiling for you when you die. Think about it. When somebody dies physically, something leaves them and goes up. If you've ever been at the side of somebody passing away, you do literally see, well, if you've got some sort of intuition and been meditating, you will notice that they leave out of the crown chakra, and you feel the energy whoosh, and they usually hang out for a little while, and then it goes. And I think that's where the God in the sky goes, like, because you think they're going to go to, like, God or heaven. And I'm not really speaking to that anyway, because the soul goes on. Edgar Casey says we enter a school on the other side, and we ruminate around the things that we did that were not in keeping of the Christ potential or the Buddha nature in this world. And we work on that. And then we look at new lives that we could go into and choose the parents that will be exactly the adverse, hard part, so that we get some of that, like, brokenness from childhood, so that we have things to push up against and grow the soul more, right? So, and I've heard it feels like a year on the other side, but usually it's more like 30 years before we re-enter again. These are the things that wake me up every day with excitement. Is the study of the part of us that never dies. That's my biggest intrigue about the spiritual work. Looking through a lens that I'm being visited by people that are no longer here. And I've got a best friend on the other side. I've got a lot of people on the other side that I walk with. And I always have some message, some butterfly, some hummingbird, something, a little sound of a peep of their voice in my ear. And I'm renewed, and I remember that our soul friends never leave us either. Our soul families never leave us. We travel in and out together. And so if you're in a time right now where you're not feeling enough of the collective and having friendship and having a mirror of that resonant energy where you can speak the spiritual stuff and talk about it and share about it and get excited about it, put it out there. Call for your soul friends, because they come at every aspect of our life. They're not here just in the beginning. We get new ones all the time, and if you're finding that the house is a little empty of friendship, then it's time for your new ones to come in. So start calling their souls and watch how they start to appear. So this week's astrology is leading the process for us if we will let it go. Full moon in Capricorn starts today. And then we're going to have this dramatic, transformative experience if we can let go of the things that are limiting us. Blocks, thoughts, health issues, a relationship that's no longer serving us, things that you've known you needed to change. It's time now. This is it. And you're going to have a lot of support by the universe, right? So in the realm of spirituality, the concept of spiritual death holds a profound significance. It goes beyond the literal understanding of physical mortality and delves into the realm of transformation and growth. Spiritual deaths are symbolic experiences that allow individuals to shed old layers of self, beliefs, and attachments in order to embrace new beginnings and higher consciousness. So, during a surrendering death, individuals may experience a profound sense of surrender, peace, and acceptance. That's what we really need to get to, is the surrender, peace, and acceptance. They may release and need to force outcomes or manipulate circumstances and instead find solace in surrendering instead of controlling. This thing that feels like it's falling away and you've been grabbing at it because you just can't even imagine this thing falling away because you're so attached to it. That's the teacher. It's that one thing that you have been grasping towards because you are like, I literally cannot let go of this one thing. And then that's usually the thing that has to be released, right? So this reminded me of a passage, and I'm going to close with this, by Sue Frederick, who is also a Unity minister and a friend before she was. And it's from her book titled Your Divine Lens, and she writes it this way. Divine lens. You still have something important to do even if you can't see it right now. Even when you feel lost and pointless, without direction, floating in grief, that great thing still lives inside of you deep down. When the time is right and the world is ready and you've learned what you needed to learn, your great gift will come pouring out of you like an Arkansas spring flood, like a hurricane downpour, unstoppable and urgent. It will save every heart, crack the world wide apart, pour light into darkness, open minds, heal souls, and change lives, especially yours. It's the gift you've agreed to bring into this lifetime. Nobody else brought it, only you. You signed up for this one, orchestrated the precise childhood to bring the gift to birth inside of you, designed the perfect pain to wake you up. And break your heart wide open and turn everything you've learned into soaring wisdom that sings in just this key, this chord that nobody else can strike, that nobody else could possibly deliver, that nobody else is capable of sharing in your exact way. So, today the homework is releasing it, letting go, and then discovering what that sharing is that's uniquely and perfectly you. Thank you for sharing you.
Well, freely we have received, freely we have the opportunities today in this beautiful free country of ours to express these truths that make life truly worth living. So that's what we're doing here at Unity. At Unity, we don't use guilt. We don't use fear. We don't preach fear, fear of God, fear of the devil. We don't preach any of that stuff. We attempt to make available to you the truths of masters down through the ages who have taken to task life and the meaning of life, and knowing that they bring forth these particular insights that can transform our lives and our world right here where we are, proving that the kingdom of God is actually in our midst, right here, right now. And that's what we in Unity are doing. So if that's really worth something to you, then you should support it. I'm speaking to the people, especially who are watching this live stream on a screen. I know it's easy to finish the talk and get up and walk away, but I'm asking you to be more aware of making yourself valuable to this Unity Church of Boulder and helping to share this truth with more and more people. That's what we are about doing. So, you know, before you step away from this talk, and take some time to decide how you'd like to support this church financially. And we have these different ways that you can do it up here, and you can press a button. If you're watching this on our website, you can hit this thing that says Donate Now. It will show you how to donate either through PayPal or Venmo. And those of you here that like to do it that way electronically, we have the QR code right in the lobby. You can put that into your cell phone, and you can tithe right now to Unity of Boulder. So, with that understanding, let's bring into our hands, into our minds and our hearts, the gift we'd like to make to Unity. And let's bless this gift with this prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. Amen. And we have Rebecca Braxis to share her music with us once again.
I wake up in tears in my bed. There's too many things going on in my head. I don't want to see the morning light, but there's a voice inside that says, receive, receive, receive the love, receive, receive, receive the light, receive the glory of your life, receive, receive, receive the love, receive, receive, receive the light, receive the glory of your life. Oh. Over there's a friend of mine telling me that my life's divine. I meet her gaze with my surprise. But what if I saw through her eyes? Receive, receive, receive the love. Receive, receive, receive the light. Receive the glory of your life. Receive, receive, receive the love. Receive, receive, receive the light. Receive the glory of your life. You have it all in someone else's eyes. Borrow their eyes and see. You have it all. You have it all. Receive, receive, receive the love. Receive, receive, receive the light. Receive the glory of your life. Receive, receive, receive the love. Receive, receive, receive the light. Receive the glory of your life. Oh.
All right. Thank Rebecca for that beautiful music. Loved it. We want to let you know that we have prayer partners available to you right after the service, and you can stay seated in your seat. And our lovely prayer partners with their white sashes will come and find you and pray with you in the sanctuary or take you down to the meditation room. I will hold my discussions circle back here, right at the back of the sanctuary. In about 5 minutes after the service, we'll come and we can talk about the sermon, talk about something that's on your heart, whatever you would like to share, anything but critiques. I'm not in the mood because, again, it's that Capricorn thing. I might not be able to handle it today. I'm just kidding. Maybe I'll take it. We'll see.
I want to make a quick announcement for those of you that may have known Steve Taylor. And if you knew him, you knew he struggled quite a bit the last year or so with certain illnesses. And he passed away about 10 days ago. So just if you have any thoughts, you want to share any prayers, we will be doing a memorial service for Steve sometime in October. So you'll hear about it when we get around to doing it.
All right, we're going to do, I think, of just release and let go. I think that's the song that's calling today. So let's just stand up and we're going to just dance together and sing. Here we go. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release in the Spirit and my heart. Yes, I'm only here for God. No